Lydiard on the other wing, Barnes and Bell, and the forwards Laurie, Izzard, Johnston, Wynn, who will captain the side, Bugden and Drake, and the coach, of course, is John Mooney.
And Wayne Pearce leads out the Tigers. That great win last week over Brisbane. All that good work could be undone if they can't keep their minds on the job today, though. They're going to do it tough against the Parramatta side that will be lifted by a big crowd. The Tigers' Jack is back at fullback. O'Brien, Brasher, Courier, Grant, Neil Freeman. The forwards of Pearce, Maguire, Siren and Edmund Elias, and both the coach is Warren Ryan.
Mick Stone is the man in charge today. And Grant gets things underway for the Tigers today. Down for Andrew Leeds. Straight into Sirinen on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here. Sun shining brightly. Lydiard comes over the quarter line. Bugden is dummy half. He's able to get it away for Johnston. Now Laurie, the Balmain defence moving up very quickly on him. Maguire leading the charge. Wynn, the mistake from the captain. Been picked up though by Barnes. Used up 5 tackles already. The Eels back for Leeds. Gary Jack back in action today. Takes the tackle. Had O'Brien outside of him, but elected to take the tackle. Now Neil, and then across for Pearce. With the Parramatta defence moving up very quickly. They're 10 metres from the halfway mark now, the Tigers. And they're playing the ball very, very quickly. Big block of Roach down the blind side. Now Sirinen, Billy Anderson, quick play, the ball's out there.
They sure are. Balmain are doing a lot of things well, but one of them is they are getting a roll on. You know, it's going to be their fierce forward brute strength that's going to win the match.
Here's Gary Jack getting a pass away to O'Brien, but Lydiard's got him.
Good tackle there by Lydiard. He had only one option to get him first time.
Yeah, no second chances for Lydiard. He took it first time, and that's the turnover. That's his Leeds with the football. 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Now Drake. Cross for Johnston. Now Kenny. Outside of him was Ericsson. Continuing to work the blind side. Away goes Craig Izzard. And that's 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. Leeds sends it down to Gary Jack. Takes it calmly, 10 metres out from his own line. Got under a high tackle, made it to the quarter line, but I think he might be hurt. Gee, he hasn't moved.
Yeah, well, watch it again, because there was the tackle. It got him on the shoulder. It wasn't a head-high tackle, as far as I'm concerned. It was across the top of the shoulder. Now, Peter Wynn's being told to here as the captain of the Parramatta side, and I think it's the little halfback going to be called up, Jason Bell. But as far as I'm concerned, the tackle came on the shoulder. I don't think there was any doubt about that. It slipped off the top of the shoulder up into the neck.
Well, I don't even think it was Bell involved in the tackle.
No, it wasn't.
It's crazy.
Jackie's up okay, and the penalty goes to Balmain. So at least they got the penalty the right way. They might have had the wrong fellow, but they got the penalty, Balmain.
Yes, let's have a look at these lower grade scores. Under 21s, Parramatta 14, Balmain 4, and in a top game of rugby league, fluctuating fortunes in reserve road. The leaders of the competition, Parramatta, sustained a late bid to get up by 14 points to Balmain's 12.
Now here's Edmed bringing the ball up 5 metres from the halfway mark. Elias is a dummy half. A long floater out there for Neil. Here's Courier, and Courier's gone straight through again. What brilliant form the centre's in. He's got support, but he passed it straight away to a Parramatta player.
Yeah, Brett Kenny, I think. Or David Woods, is it? Yes. David Woods from the State Bank replay. He accepted that with alacrity too. He wasn't going to muck around with it. Took it and went straight to ground.
He was looking for Grant, but but the Parramatta player got in between him and took the pass. But another fine break from the Englishman, who's really set the league world alight in his stay with Balmain.
He has 7 tries in 9 games he scored.
Outstanding form. Now Izzard, 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Lost his boot. Bell's able to clear down for Gary Jack.
Well, after all that effort of having a backup kicker there, they have to kick the ball straight downfield to Jack. I mean, it seems so stupid to me.
O'Brien's gone into the middle of the field looking for the football. Makes it just past halfway. Balmain looking good right from the start. Grant. Freeman goes without on the open. Away for Roach. Now Freeman joins up with him. Neal. Little man tries to find a gap up the middle. Edmed played so well last week. He delivered what was a pretty good pass to Mark Bogdan.
Yeah, snatching at the ball there, but that's an error that anyone can make.
Bell away for Drake. Bill Balmain playing a straight line of defence, no cover today.
That's right, Graham. Got Freeman up in the front line. Now the reason.
Well, Willie will come back. This should be a try. Leeds. He's going to score under the post from absolutely nothing. The stadium will come alive. The Eels have got the start they wanted to try and prove an upset.
Well,
Leeds.
David Lydiard did exactly everything that he was required to do then. A beautiful bit of football. Just played the ball back their own side of halfway. Went to Kenny and then out to Lydiard. Now he went around his man up the side, drew the fullback and offloaded beautifully back into Leeds, the fullback who sprints away for 30 metres or so, around about 25 to 30 metres without a hand laid on him. Lydiard did it beautifully. He did everything right. There was no suggestion of going too far. All that it required him to do was to get on the outside of his man, which he did, suck the fullback to him and offload it. Here it goes. That's the way it went. Now look at him. He's carrying the ball in the correct arm. He's pretty quick too, Lydiard. He's been around for a while in Sydney Rugby League. But there it is, that great run by Leeds to take it right up underneath the post. And don't the Raras wish they still had this fella. He's starting to play magnificent football with Parramatta.
Just about in front. A perfect start for the Parramatta side. They've got the Tigers by 6 points to 0.
Keeping it alive very smartly as Barnes picked up the pass again. Nice pass from the halfback Bell, and out it goes to Woods, and out it goes to Ericsson. This is a magnificent Parramatta try. Oh, that's fine stuff from the Eels. They kept the football alive and just ran Balmain off their feet. Great try to the Eels.
Well, this one really came as a result of a long three-quarter line movement. They've got their backs all in position out there. There was some nifty handling here around about this situation. Kenny got the ball away nicely to Barnes. Barnes lobbed a pass there that just beat Courier. It went out there to little Jason Bell, then on to David Woods, and the centre positioned himself perfectly and got it away to Ericsson, the wing three-quarter, who scored a very, very smart try. I'm still concerned that Ericsson doesn't carry the ball in the right arm, but that's the way he likes to run, so we've got to go with it. There was a beautiful bit of handling there by Woods. He did very well and then sucked the defence to him. Gary Jack's having a nightmare match. Nothing he could do about the 2 tries because he's been set up with the opposition coming at him in 2. So that's a very smart try to Ericsson.
And the Stormman has scored 7 tries so far for the Eels this year, equal with Brett Kenny. Leeds about 11 metres in from touch, 1 from 1 today. And that's the angle he has, a long way out for him. Andrew Leeds hits it just to the side of the post, so he can't have the extras. But Parramatta have raced away to a 10-0 lead over the Tigers.
Now Courier comes back to halfway. The Tigers, everybody's strong favourites for this match. Just about everybody. He's found a gap in the Parramatta defence. Good thinking from Courier, so they'll get an opportunity to put pressure on Parramatta now with the line dropout. Excellent kick from Courier. So Balmain with their first real opportunity in attack. And we're talking about the number of tackles the Tigers were missing. tells its own story. Jack, straight away off for O'Brien. They're 32 out, Balmain. And in a state of shock at present. Maguire.
Very close to being a forward pass there from the dummy half.
Elias for Roach. Just setting themselves outside the quarter line. They're very bunched at the moment, Balmain. He's working her way through the forwards. Pearce. Back it comes. Freeman for Neal. Now Brasher. Tremendous defence from Kenny. All the experience there. Freeman. Little kick to the corner. Leeds is there. Fumbles it. It'll go against him in the knock-on.
State Bank replay. Put under some pressure is Leeds. You can see he just fails to handle the football and then knocks it over the sideline. The scrum goes down. It's a Balmain ball.
Brasher quickly away for Courier. Trying to step his way through. It's Parramatta's turn now in defence. Pearce. 11 metres out, the Tigers. Freeman. Roach. Big blocker takes 3 tacklers. Elias. Edmed. Just a couple away now. Elias from dummy half. He was bounced back by the defence. On the last tackle, they have Parramatta stretch both sides. Freeman, Neal, surely a try, quick hands, knocked down. It had to be knocked down. They've got 6 more tackles. Freeman bounces back. 5 metres out. Elias again, Sirenen on the charge. The defence is holding. They're lined deep to the right. That's where they go, Neal. Quickly for Brasher. They had numbers over, they couldn't get it out there. Neal once more. Elias. Flick pass for Pearce. Now Courier will score. There's the reply from the Tigers. Andy Courier picks up his 8th try of the season. And a timely one at that.
Beautiful reverse pass here by Benny Elias to get Courier to Pearce, and then on to Courier, who used his great acceleration to make that try a certainty from only 10 metres out. But it was the cleverness of Benny Elias, seen running towards us now. He gets the pass back onside to Pearce. Pearce, as he's tackled, gets it away to Courier. Courier doubles round behind and accelerates very quickly and scores a smart try. Came against slightly the run of play. They weren't actually putting a great deal of pressure on there. But it's amazing to see the way this game can change around. Andy Courier, the try scorer, is going to attempt to convert his own try.
Benny Elias laid it on. Sheer weight of possession there for the Tigers, who were hammering away. Courier to try and convert his own try. 3 tries in 17 minutes. Steady at the end of his run. Looking for 2 more. He's got him. Balmain bounced back. The Eels 10-6.
The Parramatta defence not as secure as it was 5 minutes or so ago, and Balmain came up with a penalty as Parramatta is up inside the 5 metres.
Courier just looking for instructions whether he's to kick for goal or not.
Pearce asking him the question if he can make it dead, and he reckons he can. Well, he's about 35 metres out, 36 maybe. Billy Anderson, the wind down there not a factor at all, is it?
No, not really. If there's any, Ian, it's in favour of Parramatta. But this is a game that's going with possession. Parramatta had all the ball, skipped away to a 10-0 lead, and now Balmain are getting a share, and they've got back 6 points and a shot for goal.
Fast and furious, this game. Terrific action. Andy Courier, 35 metres out. They want to make sure he kicks the ball dead. Let's make sure he kicks the goal, I guess. More importantly. Picture of concentration. Certainly will make it dead, but it's to the side of the post. He kicked it almost out of the park. So the score remains 10-6. Parramatta lead Balmain. Leads with the restart for the Eels. Down for Brasher. Good defence from the Parramatta side. Mark Laurie moving up very quickly and making a good tackle.
I can't really believe that Mark Laurie hasn't made the big-time rep stuff. I think he's a very solid citizen and never plays a bad game. I haven't seen him play a bad one.
Very consistent play, no doubt about that. Now Roach with a pass to Freeman, then on to Neal. Cutting out one player with a pass to Courier. Barnes was around his legs, around his ankles.
I think the crowd were booing there, thinking that Courier had taken 2 or 3 steps along the way, but I think he got a shoulder up the backside at the last second and was able to just move off the mark. The referee indicated that's what why he allowed the play to go without penalty.
The boo subsided when he kicked the ball out on the full anyway, so. Now here's Kenny, threading his way through the defence, taking play back inside the Balmain half. Bell. The scrums are 2-1 to the Eels, and the reverse situation in the penalties. 35 metres out from the Balmain line. Barnes, a step off the left foot, put him in with a clear 2. Kenny was there in support, but they made a mess of it. Woods put the ball down.
Yes, that was a near thing for Balmain, but Parramatta just couldn't handle it.
So the Tigers come away with it. Grant, 15 out from his own line. Now Pearce reaches the quarter line. For Maguire. Now Edmed. I think fancy. One pass straight ahead. Used up 5 tackles. Now Neal. Bell knocked back, said the referee. And Bell is pulled down by Brasher. Just 10 metres from the halfway mark. Lydiard.
Okay, right off, fellas. Right away.
Kenny. And we keep it alive to Bugden. And then out for Johnston. And Johnston just about reaches the halfway mark. Barnes. Cross for Woods. Still going. Some lax tackling. 10 metres inside the Balmain half.
He's probably got his confidence up too, Woods, because he's been re-signed to a contract with Parramatta only this week.
Oh, a magnificent kick. A magnificent kick. Finds touch about a metre from the line.
Yes, Barnes really... well, he put the hits on that one. That one he wanted to go closer. That went real close, let me tell you. That's only about 2 feet out from the corner post. Very smart little player, Barnes. Good kicking game. Good backer-upper.
And Stone wants it again. So just about a King Freeman there with the first feed. Jack. About 10 metres out from their own line, Balmain. And maybe their mind's not properly on the job, Bill.
They're not as desperate as they were last week against Balmain, Graham. They might be having a bit of against Brisbane. They might be having a bit of a psychological letdown, but they should have been alerted to the fact that Parramatta are no pushovers. They've been beaten by them twice already this year.
Balmain's defence out wide is struggling, Bill.
Yes, they are. I just think they're not playing with that sort of intensity that they need to. It's a matter of coming to the game and thinking you've got a divine right to win it, and that's not the case. You know, Parramatta are really pushing themselves.
Pushing themselves to a great first half for them so far. Well taken by Lydiard, running back to his own line. And he beats O'Brien. He can't beat Rasher, and he puts a foot into touch. Well, that's poor play in the end on the first tackle.
Yes, he was pushed into touch and lost a shoe at the same time, so he got the quinella. But it's a line ball. We have to go with the touch judge there. Yes, I subscribe to the view that he was quite right. The foot went well over the line.
And that mistake from Lydiard is going to put his side under enormous pressure now as they get the penalty from scrum against Bugden. And Jack sends the Tigers back into Parramatta territory inside their own quarter. Reg to Maguire. All the early play was the Eels. Now it's the Tigers clawing their way back. Edmed taking place straight across the field on the third. Roach switch of play for Freeman. Neal. Kenny read that. They had numbers and Jack had come into the back line and Kenny moved up swiftly to cut it off. Now Elias. Sirenen, who was standing very, very flat.
Yeah, no time to get his momentum going there.
Freeman. Jack. Tackled by Drake. Rojo's blindside and barges his way across the line. That shouldn't happen. It was too easy. A simple play of the ball. Nothing fancy, but the big man has crashed his way through the front line. Big blocker has just barged his way over.
Well, they say these tries are valuable just because they're the same price as the same number of points as the 90-metre intercept and the long sprints. This is a try that really shouldn't have been scored. He wasn't even standing that deep to get his momentum up. It's just the bulk of the guy, the huge bulk of the man and the power of him. He just knocked the leads there. You saw him go backwards, and that was the instant that the try was scored. There were three of them onto him. He was just too powerful for them. So they've really bridged the gap. They've got it up to 10-all with a kick and goal to follow.
Well, an Australian representative who played great football in New Zealand. And the Zales rep from Balmain picks up his first try in '89. Set sail around the corner, but he's hooked that ball wide. So the scoreline at Parramatta Stadium, 10-all between the Eels and the Tigers.
Parramatta need the ball because they've got to tire out these Balmain forwards. Balmain need the ball because if they can keep it, they'll just...
Well, Elias has stolen the ball. He's got to score. It just popped up for Benny Elias. They've been mounting some pressure. And a smile from little Ben, who's got 4 points.
Well, gee, he showed some pace there too. Now let's have a look and see who delivers the football to him. I think it was Barnes trying to get a pass away there to Jason Bell. Inadvertently allowed Elias to come in and steal the football. That's a cardinal sin. Well, there it was. And there was Benny Elias's left arm going out and pulling that ball in. He thought, well, I've got 25 metres to go to get to this goal line and nobody's going to catch me. And they didn't. See it again from head on. There's the play going out. I think it was Barnes getting it to pass away, trying to, at least to Jason Bell. And Benny Elias very calmly, and by gee, showed some pace there. He copped a bit of a serve from Peter Wynn, but that doesn't worry him now after the try's been scored.
The Balmain development officer has got his own ideas about developing a Balmain win. That has broken the deadlock here in the first half. And he tries to rev up his forwards. This is what we've got to do.
Referee Stone has suggested that somebody come up and hold the football. That's Neal. Terry has had to agree to it.
And Michael Neal comes up at the request of the referee. Terry says, I'm okay now.
I did that once in a match, held the football for somebody and he kicked me straight in the hand.
It's staying there at the moment. Terry is giving him every opportunity to fall again. Kick. He's got it. Might have taken 2 or 3 attempts, but the Tigers 16-10. Leads now with the restart. The Eels have raced to that 10-0 lead. But the Tigers, just like they did against Brisbane, have answered the call. O'Brien. Couple of minutes away from half-time as the shadows creep across the Parramatta Stadium. Lost by Sirenen. Now a chance maybe for Parramatta. Back for Eriksson. The Tigers have got some work to do for a couple of minutes. Bell. Drake. Brasher. Another intercept. And he's still going, Brasher. Some silly passes from the Eels, and now Brasher's lost it. The Eels will have time for a scrum. So it's been attack and counter-attack right throughout the first half. What can they lay on from the scrum, Parramatta? Bell, Barnes, Kenny on the inside. Steps his way to just short of the quarter line. It'll bring a penalty. Stealing the football after he was tackled.
Well, Brasher's denied any knowledge of it. It wasn't me, sir, said he, looking very, very disgusted as he walked away. But you can see his arm reefed the ball out. I tell you what, viewers, footballers are dead set fibbers. They really are.
Well, this is stupid football. From outside the quarter line, this now becomes a kick that can be thrown over from 12 metres away. Somebody's had plenty to say. One Steve Roach.
Well, Roach has got to learn to button up his lip. Now he's still going at it. Wayne Pearce is there trying to argue with him. I think he turned to the referee and said, "Just ignore him, please. Don't give us don't take us another 10 yards."
One from two for Leeds. This one from right in front. Well, just about be all there is as far as action in the first half, and a terrific first half too. Leeds. He gets 2 more points for Parramatta. They draw closer, 16 to 12.
As you would expect, they get the scrum win when you put it that far back in.
Only a Balmain halfback can do a feed like that.
Here's Courier, linking up nicely with Grant. Down the touchline he comes, look for inside, Courier's there, takes it nicely. The pass to Neil was over his head, but he's still been able to pick it up. And he'll play it only 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Freeman got it away for Brasher. Brasher caught on the 10-metre mark. The Tigers now starting to come to life. Roach got it back for Freeman, then to Elias, and then to Neil. Parramatta defence holds though. Still 10 metres out. Elias a dummy half. Gave it away to Freeman. The little kick ahead, he can't get there. Parramatta have been able to fall on it.
Yes, resorting to the little kick there. And, well, he got a shoulder charge on the way through, but really nobody has to get out of the way of a player that's coming through after a kick. They don't have to actually deviate from the position they're in. So the referee judged that to be okay. The ball was grounded in goal, and now Parramatta get to kick off.
It's not a real great kick either, because Pearce has been able to take it 30 metres out from the Parramatta line, and he'll take it up to the quarter line. So more pressure now for Parramatta as Maguire takes it inside the quarter. Elias on his own through a couple of dummies. Now Courier's dummy half. Freeman across to Neil, and then to Brasher, and then to Gary Jack. Jack still going. Good run from the fullback. The pass back inside was very smart too. And they're only about 5 metres out now, the Tigers. As big blocker gets a pass beautifully away to Maguire. And that's going to be a try and rule by Mick Stone. Interesting to have a look at the pass, but referee had no doubt at all about it.
Yeah, he was very adjacent too. This is the beautiful part about it. This is a classy try. This is a beautiful try. Watch the big fella lip his shoulder down low and get the pass around. Now, I would have sworn that was forward from up here. Yeah. And that's the view of it I have. I don't think any replays that we're going to show you are going to make it any more clear. But the referee, I thought, was directly in line with it. So how in the name of God can a referee make an error? We assume he didn't. Watch it here. As he goes across field, dummying, lurches through. Oh, yes, that looked a metre forward to me. How does he miss a thing like that? Whiz, I don't know.
Well, the point is, Rex, as you pointed out, he was in a perfect position to rule on it. He was in line with him.
Well, he was quite definitely there, adjacent, within metres of it, but maybe somebody came across his line of vision. A player ran in front of him or something, but that looked a dreadful try, that one.
Well, that's the man who delivered the pass. It was a smart pass, there's no question. But Maguire certainly looked to be in front, didn't he? Now, he scored the try, it's been done, and here's the conversion attempt from Courier. Right in front. As you would expect, no problems for Courier. So the Tigers now charge to a 10-point lead, 22-12.
So if they come back to halfway, a Parramatta change, Bill.
Michael Mosley in 22. He's a specialist hooker. Replaces Mark Clinton.
So Mosley out there. As Parramatta look down the barrel, it may be the end for them in 89 with a loss today. It's going to make it extremely difficult. The most they could hope for, I would suggest, would be a playoff situation. Sirenen. And yet another Eels change, Bill.
Jeremy Ticehurst in 18, ex-Manly player to replace young Barnes, the 5'8".
So Balmain full of running through Edmed. And it's always the sign of a side who can weather such a great start that Parramatta had against them in the first half and to bounce back. Roach has played well for them. Neal. Long kick downfield for Leeds. Will be taken by Brasher and O'Brien. Plenty of time left in this match, of course, but Parramatta got to start looking wide as they did in the opening moments. Johnston. Izzard. He's going to run without no support.
Well, they're running one out at the moment.
He took that all the way to the halfway, but he had nobody backing him up. Laurie. On the last tackle. Long pass from Mosley for Kenny. He kicks. And kicks well. About 5 metres out from the line.
Yes, a skillful little kick from Kenny. He's just playing for position here. The ball goes into touch about 5 metres from the corner flag. There's a touch judge in at the moment. Kenny, just back to him for a moment, looks to me as though he's regained all his confidence. He's moving beautifully in this match. He really has threatened to make breaks, and he's done some very, very clever things.
He's going to be involved now with that change. Barnes leaving the field. Kenny moves to 5'8". Ticehurst to the wing, and Eriksson shifts into the centres. O'Brien. Wrapped up by Eriksson. The dummy from Courier. His feet just outside his own 22. Freeman. Driven backwards in good defence. Johnson was down low. Not much in the scrums and penalties. The Tigers. Edged away and the crowd's gone a little quiet, waiting for the Eels to explode back. Leeds nearly through. He was just grabbed by the jumper by Brasher. Lydiard has time to unload for Woods. A little tangled in the play of the ball. Bell. Eriksson. In fact, it's Ticehurst. Sean Edwards and Podgy, the Balmain bench, warm up. Izzard.
Just went over the top of Mike Neal there and pushed him out of the way.
Bell. Well, they're taking all the messages from high above from Warren Ryan as the Eels do explode. He's got Kenny on the outside. Bell inside. Lydiard. Should have been a try if he had have gone outside. Last tackle. Still on. Bell. He's going to get wrapped up on the last tackle. They come undone.
Yes, a very near thing there for the Balmain side. There should have been a try at the end of that, I felt. Well, there's been a penalty awarded against the Parramatta side for stealing the ball in a tackle. So Balmain will get right off the hook here. Now Edwards comes on the field, number 42.
Edwards is on to replace Gary Freeman. He's left the field now. So certainly a bombed opportunity there for Parramatta. And there's another change on the sideline as well as Podgy gets ready to come on, and he'll be replacing Paul Sirenen. Sirenen's not real fussed about being replaced. Now O'Brien. Roach. The crowd certainly gone very quiet, sensing perhaps that their season may well be over. There's Podgy on, and we're told Surinam will be there. He's not real fussed about that. 0. Now, the touch judge is on. And they're calling, well, he's calling over Edwards.
Well, he hasn't been on the field yet. How can he have done anything wrong?
Well, that's because Edwards took the field without reporting to a touch judge whilst they still had 13 players out there. So just a technicality, I guess.
Oh, quite right. No argument about that.
So the scrum feed and the win to Parramatta as Bell comes away with it. Man from, well, penalty goes to Parramatta. I was about to say the man from Wigan and the man from Widnes out there. The penalty to the Eels. And Leeds, of course, will look for touch.
There's no point in kicking for goal there in that situation. They're got to get points adrift. 10 points.
So another opportunity for the Eels to strike back. Still 18 minutes of play left. And here they come. Drake has been a lot quieter in the second half. Back for Kenny. Oh, Kenny's gone straight through. Looks for support. They've bombed it. Well, well, well.
I don't know why he passed there. I really don't know. I think he may have made it on his own if he'd gone hell for leather. I think possibly Gary Jack would have been the only opportunity to stop him, but his pass was dreadful. That was Britt Kenny, and he's done it again. He's made a break, and it's coming right back to his best form.
So the Tigers have the scrum win, and Pearce will play it. Foggy it was. 12 metres out from the Balmain line. Edmed. Roach. Here's a further penalty to Balmain. This time Parramatta caught offside.
Well, this crowd are going to explode in anguish at any moment, any time a penalty is given against their side up here.
Penalties have enabled Balmain to get out of trouble quite often. Right on the halfway mark, Elias with the restart, then Neil and then Grant. 22 points to 12. The Tigers have it at the minute. Now here's Pearce getting it away to Brasher. Cross for Edmed. And then Roach, Gary Jack. The Balmain Tigers, a team that is coming for a lot of support in the last week or so. Somehow that didn't go out. Leeds did very well to bring that football back in. I was about to say the Tigers doing it well, keeping up the momentum that they've been building on over the past few weeks.
He didn't mess around with Woods there, slammed him down, back slammed him.
Drake, who's lost the football, been picked up by Brasher. And he's pulled down only about 5 metres from the Parramatta line. Back for Maguire. A try here from Balmain will certainly wrap up this football game as Edwards floats one out for Courier. Courier's got to pass along the ground to Gary Jack, and it's been called back.
Yes, that's the way forward.
He saw that one, pulled it back.
Edmed. 10 metres out. John Edwards, the dummy, the chip into the in goal. He's on the chase, those Leeds. It'll beat them all back to the quarter line. He tried to steal it, but it was too deep.
Yes, little Edwards there, who's only been recently come onto the field, got the little kick going. Wasn't all that far away from it, but beat him over the dead ball line by about a metre and a bit.
Now Wynn takes it back to the 40-metre line. If they're going to score, they're going to have to put points on the board very quickly. Izzard. Kenny has been the man most likely to bust them open. Drake. Now where's the urgency? Bell swinging out from Maguire. That is high.
The Benny Elias is immediately moving over there as an interloper. See it yourself. It wasn't an arm that was swung into him. It's not what I'd call a classic stiff arm tackle. It was much too high. Has to be penalised. Much too high.
Now Leeds will be able to send this very, very deep. And Parramatta, as we go down to about 10 to go, must put those points on the board.
Well, they've had some opportunities in the second half to do it from similar positions, but they've let themselves down. Let's see what they can do now. Here's Lydiard up to the quarter. Into the final 10 minutes of this game. Kenny, inside pass for Johnston. Mosley's the dummy half. Here's Bell. Links up with Leeds. Bell again, into Ericsson. Keeping it alive, Drake's got it. Now Wynn. Keeping it on, Izzard put it down. Well, Izzard had the opening there, but again, handling has let them down. It's Poggi. Pick up and will play it about 9 metres out from the Balmain line. May well have been 1989 there.
Well, it looked that way. He was clear and he probably would have scored. So that's maybe 3 real good opportunities at 4-pointers for Parramatta in the second half.
So the Tigers now outside their own quarter, leading 22 points to 12. In front on the scoreboard, in front on the time clock. They've used up 5 tackles here. Neil sends this down to Leeds. Leeds required just short of the halfway mark. As the shadow is stretched right across Parramatta Stadium now. Woods got himself into the clear and got a one-handed pass away from Mosley, who's popped it back for Lydiard. That's good stuff from Parramatta. Why haven't they been doing this before? And that's an awful pass from Leeds. Well, they're going to get the penalty. Gary Jack was away.
Comedy of errors, actually. Absolute comedy of errors. There was Gary Jack coming back onside. The ball met him. He turned and went back the other way. He'd never actually been onside.
Somebody throws you the football, you've got to run with it.
You've got to catch it. You've got to do something with it.
Mosley is down receiving attention at the moment as the Eels come back for the restart. And Izzard, who bombed his try just a moment or two ago, gets to within a metre of the line. And what's happened here?
Another ball on the field.
2 footballs on the field. They got rid of one. Now it's back for Kenny. Across for Drake, who's really slowed up in the second half.
I'm afraid he's not ready for this football yet.
Now Kenny again. 3 or 4 metres out from the Balmain line. Bell from dummy half. Got a pass away, and that's a try. A try to Mark Burry.
Yes, I'm glad he scored a try because he's been a terribly hard worker. I'll get to hear his tackle count in a minute from our statistician here. But here's the try, only about 7 or 8 metres out from the line. There's Bell running, gets it on a Laurie, who's really travelling, going forward hard and strong, and able to score the try. Here it is again. Bell runs. Yes, he's got through 30 tackles and scored a try. This is quite an impressive performance from this guy. He's going to England to play rugby league, I'm told, in the off-season. But a very valuable player. Has not put a foot wrong in 1989.
So the opportunity now for Andrew Leeds to add the 2 extra points. We're talking about this game being gone. This could be an interesting final 5 minutes as Leeds puts it between the posts. And hello, we've only got a game that's got 4 points in it. It's 22-18, the Tigers in front.
Wynn pops a pass. Mosley, Laurie, just scored a moment ago. They're at the right end of the field, the Eels. Ericsson. Their best opportunities have been out wide all day, the Eels. They go blindside with Bell. Lydiard chasing through, bouncing to the end goal. Jack's going to be wrapped up. They're going to have to soak up 6 of the best now.
Well, Lydiard and Bell were like two ravenous sharks the way they went through onto that kick there. Gary Jack was no way going to get out of that in-goal area. And that was as good a bit of chasing as you'd ever hope to see from those two. Grand stuff. Now the line drop out by Balmain. Parramatta get the ball back and the action starts again.
The crowd booing at the time being taken over the kick. Ericsson. Now, can there be enough time for a bit of Brett Kenny magic, maybe? He slipped himself through a couple of times today. Touched by Elias, 6 more tackles. Elias was desperate for possession. Ericsson. Up the middle for Ericsson. Jack was the last line of defence. They can win this, the Eels. Bell. Desperate times at the business end of the Winfield Cup season of '89. Kenny! 9 metres out the Eels. Lydiard wrapped up quickly. That was a lost tackle for Parramatta. Now it's on the last. Bell. Shape the kick. Izzard. He's not in the position to kick. He'll have to unload it for Wynn. He's going to get wrapped up. He unloads. Drake loses it. Balmain are in possession. And a final Balmain change, Billy.
John Elias in 26 replacing Steve Roach. Warren Ryan trying to get some mobility and defence onto the field.
Gary Jack was trying to waste some time. 22-18, the Tigers lead by 4. Sean Edwards. They're trying to play out Tigers. A match that Parramatta will probably ask, how did we lose it after leading 10-0? But Balmain have bounced back after being down the last couple of weekends. Elias, his leg heavily strapped. The flick inside for Roach. Out it comes for Brasher. 6 more tackles. It was touched. The Tigers might finish with a try. Edwards. Long pass out for Grant. He heads to the corner. It's been a terrific match. He's into touch. The Tigers were screaming for a penalty from it.
Well, we've got a touch judge coming in here at the moment, but here's Grant, who just took a long lollipop type of pass, but he's been upended there very, very smartly by Jason Bell and pushed over the sideline with the assistance of Kenny.
Certainly looked as if he should have been allowed to play the ball. Elias is out there for Roach. Big Roach is off, and we're inside the last minute of play. They're going to have to do it from their own try line. Ticehurst. Is there any fairy tale finish for the Eels to this match? Kenny shows the ball, couple of dummies. Time is nearly up. Leeds, Mosley, they've got to keep throwing it around. They can't even afford to take tackles like that. Bell, long ball out. They've fumbled it. Off the leg, says Stone. Izzard. Determined run, but that's not enough either. On the last. They'll threaten to kick. Well, I thought they'd push the pass. Lydiard's on the chase. O'Brien's getting back there. Jack slips. Just has time to get to the ball. Real desperate stuff for Balmain. Neal. He swivels in the tackle. He's going to have support too from Jack. He's going to have a ton of support. Well, he should have passed. Brasher and Jack were unmarked. That was going to be a try, but he hung on to it. Now Pobji.
Pobji's running like a 3-year-old here. He's sidestepping, swerving, weaving.
There it is. Is that the end of Parramatta in '89? The Tigers fans celebrate. Handshakes from the players. The Eels certainly had their opportunities, but Balmain took theirs, and with it they wrapped up a win. Laid on a couple of tries from Roach, and they got home 22-18.
Yes, 22-18 is the score. Balmain's favour. The try scorers for the Balmain side: Courier, Roach, Elias and Maguire. Courier came up with 3 goals. Parramatta's 18 points. Leeds, Ericsson, Laurie scored tries, and Leeds kicked 3 goals.